This is a webinar, and any questions that you may have during the presentation, we're going to ask that you would hold those questions or that you would post them in the Q&A. And Reverend Sarah Renfro will answer them as she pauses in her presentations. I believe if it's related to what she's talking about, then great. If there's some further questions that you need to ask, further clarifications, just put them in the chat and we'll try to answer those as they come along. So just want to say thank you again for joining us this morning. We are blessed to have Reverend Sarah Renfro, who is the Assistant Vice President of Client Relations for the Pension Fund. Many of you know Reverend Sarah. She's a lifelong disciple born and raised in Lexington, Kentucky. She is married to the Reverend Kyle Brown and mom of 12-year-old Miriam. She attended churches in Kentucky and Indiana, and then she joined the Pension Fund. She's a writer of poetry and prose, passionate about peace and justice, and an active member of both her church and her community. Sarah loves completing word puzzles, traveling, and cheering on the University of Kentucky Wildcat. So she is a competitor as well. She doesn't just complete word puzzles, but she competes at things as well, as she cheers for the University of Kentucky. We're glad to have her. This morning, we're also glad to have Sarah Hack, who is our Director of Communication. She will be guiding along this webinar, and so she will be answering any other questions. And so at this time, I want to just turn it over to Reverend Sarah so that she might lead us on in this webinar.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. I'm so glad to be with you. And I'm going to get started by sharing a screen, and then we'll just get right into it, if that's all right. And Sarah will hold me accountable to make sure it all looks okay. All good? Good. Well, again, good morning. Grateful to be with you today. You may know my parents, Donna and Chartorn Renfro, or my sister, Reverend Carol Devine. As Don mentioned, my niece and namesake, Christian Church in Kentucky Director of Communications, Sarah Hack, is joining us today. My nephews, Elijah and Ben, and their loves also make my heart sing. As Assistant Vice President of Client Relations, I work with members, churches, and organizations not only in Kentucky, but Michigan, Illinois, Wisconsin, Mid-America, Kansas City, Kansas, Nebraska, the Upper Midwest, and benevolent care facilities in Atlanta and Selma, Alabama. I also oversee the enrollment specialist team. Before we get started, I want to make sure I point out a legal disclaimer. The material contained in this presentation is for informational purposes only. Please consult your attorney, tax preparer, or financial advisor before making any decisions about your financial matters. Like we said, we will keep an eye on the chat, and I will pause after each section to take questions. I will also be taking questions at the end of the presentation. If you have a specific question about your personal account, please feel free to contact me directly, and I will follow up with you next week. Sarah has put my direct information in the chat already. All right, let's get started. As you can see by the statistics, over half of Americans are feeling financial anxiety. Does that resonate with you? Experts say that to maintain your current lifestyle in retirement, you will need 70 to 80% of your pre-retirement income. Social Security provides about only 40%. Half of us are not prepared. Are you worried about your retirement savings? If you answered yes to being worried about your retirement, you are not alone. It can feel difficult to picture your retirement savings being enough. Today, we will be addressing ways to ease concerns and how, with pension fund, retirement is possible. Pension Fund of the Christian Church began with a donation in 1895, 128 years ago. No, 9 years ago this year, and paid out our first pension in 1929, which is significant. No pension has ever been missed or reduced, and no account has ever lost value. We continue to live out our mission for the support of ministry, serving those who serve with integrity, security, and compassion. Today, we will explore pension funds, retirement and saving products, how best to prepare for retirement, and an overview of our Ministerial Relief and Assistance programs. To help reach your retirement goals, Pension Fund offers 2 main employer-sponsored accounts, meaning funds run through payroll at your church or church-related employer. We need a participation agreement on file with each employer that details who on staff is eligible for which benefits. This is a simple, swift, and cost-free process with which I gladly help. For pension fund purposes, benefits are not exclusive to clergy, as lay employees, including preschool staff, can be eligible. We will go through the pension plan and tax-deferred retirement account, Roth 403B, in more detail. The pension plan is a defined benefit retirement account, meaning you and your spouse or qualified domestic partner will receive monthly income for life. Dues are paid based on compensation, which are converted into credits. Credits accrue over the life of your career and determine the amount of your pension payments. Death and disability benefits are built into the pension plan, which provides security and stability during seasons of distress. Pension payments are designated as 100% housing allowance for clergy. Special apportionment credits may be awarded periodically based on our funding level when the board deems appropriate. Pre-retired members may accumulate more pension credits. Those already receiving their pension may see an increase in their monthly payments. In 21 and 22, members received an increase in their credits by at least 10%, and those already retired received a 10% plus raise 2 years in a row. This can make a significant difference to one's retirement income. So I'll stop there. Are there any questions thus far? I'm going to guess not. So let's talk TDRA. The tax-deferred retirement account, TDRA, Roth 403B, allows for salary reduction contributions on a pre-tax and/or Roth or after-tax basis. Employers may also elect to make pre-tax contributions as an added benefit for their pastors or church employees. This defined contribution retirement account earns a base interest rate, currently 4%, and is eligible for good experience credits. While full retirement age for the pension plan is 65, TDRA or Roth 403B funds may be accessed without penalty as early as age 59 and a half. And you can name your beneficiaries. Ministers can claim housing allowance on installment payments in retirement as well. Similar to special apportionment credits, Good experience credits may be awarded by the board based on reserve levels. As you can see, 3 years ago, the GECs were an additional 16.5%. This means the TDRA earned over 20%. A year or so ago, when many retirement accounts, including 401ks, lost nearly 20%, the TDRA Roth 403B earned over 4%. And for nearly 50 years, it has earned an average of over 9%. Diversifying retirement savings on a pre-tax and Roth after-tax basis allows you to lower taxable income now and/or take distributions tax-free in retirement. There is no minimum contribution, and in 2024, the IRS annual contribution limit for those under age 50 is $23,000. For those 50 and above, the limit increases to $30,500. And I'll say this several times today, pension fund does not charge fees to account balances. You will not see an annual maintenance fee or fees deducted from your account value ever. So those are our main employer-sponsored accounts. What questions do you have? I'm sure you'll come up with some later, and that will be great. This webinar will not last the full hour if we don't have some discussion, so you'll get some time back in your day, as they say. So we'll move on to individual accounts. Pension fund offers individual accounts as well. Contributions are made separately from your employer. If you are an employee of an eligible employer, you can open an individual retirement account or IRA. Traditional IRA contributions may be tax deductible, and from which you can make qualified charitable distributions. Roth contributions are made after tax, and therefore earnings grow tax-free. This is a good estate planning tool as well. The minimum to enroll is $100. Those under age 50 may contribute up to $7,000 this year. $8,000 is the IRS limit for those aged 50 and above. And yes, if you have a 401k from a previous job or 403b or an IRA from another provider, you can roll over or transfer funds to pension fund to benefit from the no fees and base interest rates. What questions do we have on IRAs or rollovers or anything we've discussed so far? Oh, is there a question? Is there something? No? Oh, is there a question? No. Okay. Oh, good.
Can spouses also roll over accounts?
Great question. So glad you asked. Yes, they can. As spouses who are not eligible for employer-sponsored accounts, they can roll over into an IRA, either traditional or Roth. And I would be your first direct contact to begin that process. There's an enrollment and then an application for rollover. And then we would need a statement copy from your current provider to show your name and account type. And then we submit the request for funds to that provider, and it's up to them to send us those funds, and they may have their own paperwork as well. So it's advised that the member or the spouse would reach out to them directly as well. Great question. All right, let us move on. Few Americans would be able to cover the cost of a $400 emergency, unfortunately. We have less savings now, perhaps, than we did a year or so ago. It is important to habitually set aside funds for expected and unexpected expenses. By doing so, funds build with compounding interest, and you don't want to leave any money on the table. And this brings me to our most exciting high-yield after-tax savings account that pension fund offers. The Benefit Accumulation Account, or BAA, offers a current base interest rate of 4%, and it is also eligible for good experience credits. The minimum to enroll is $25, and there is no contribution limit as it is not a retirement account. It is a great vehicle for emergency savings. And my husband and I use one to save for our quarterly taxes, which clergy often have to pay. And I have another one for any large amounts our daughter receives for her birthday and Christmas, and then a separate one for planning for future vacations. As you can see, the BAA earned over 13% a couple of years ago. Y'all, this is a savings account that earned over 13%. You have online access to make with transactions at any time, and there's no fees. So this is why I'm so excited about the BAA. Talk to anyone who has one, they will sing its praises as well. In order to open a BAA, you must have a retirement account with pension fund or be the spouse of a member. Spouses are eligible for their own IRAs as well, as we discussed. So what questions do we have on the BAA or anything we've talked about so far? All right, well, let's move on. Now, if you're wondering if you are ready to retire one day, you will want to consider your debt, expenses, and any roadblocks. You can run retirement estimates in your member portal, as well as see your account balances, enroll in new accounts like the IRA or BAA, and make online transactions, and more. Age retirement is 65. You will want to make sure to pay attention to the assumptions when you run your estimate. And you're able to toggle back and forth and enter different dates and salaries and any annual increases that you would receive. When you have a retirement date in mind, you will want to gather the application for retirement and supporting documentation. Pensions are generally paid out on the first of the month, and to be sure you receive your pension in a timely manner, please submit all paperwork no less than 30 days prior. And then you get to run off into the sunset. Or keep working. You are able to work after retirement as long as you work less than half time at your current employer. Interim ministers currently receiving their pension often contribute to a TDRA through the church, as you cannot stop pension payments once they have started. And if you have any retirement questions, our team is ready to help. At our main number, at our member relations team number, just push 3 for retirements. But since you've got me here now, are there any questions about retirement? All righty. Pension Fund started as a Ministerial Relief and Assistance ministry. We continue to expand our offerings for new parents, new church starts, transitioning pastors, and more, while maintaining programs such as the student gift pension. I'll go more into the student gift membership in a moment, but with the parental leave assistance program, we help a church who does not already have a parental leave policy in place. We will work with them to develop that policy and also grant the parent and the church to help in that time. If there's a new church start and reaching full participation in pension plan dues, paying the full 14%, which is required for ministers, over a 5-year period, we will gradually meet the church. So we'll start on a 11% coming from pension fund, 3% coming from the church. And over 5 years, we will get the church to the point where they are able to pay full dues on their own. All right. So the student gift membership is amazing. Ministerial students are eligible to receive a gift of up to $3,360 towards the retirement savings in the pension plan. This allows them to be eligible for death and disability benefits, as well as the BAA, and gives them a head start for saving for retirement. I was recently going through old files and found the certificate welcoming me as a pension fund member when I was serving as the student youth minister at First Christian Church in Frankfurt. Joining pension fund in my 20s and continued participation ever since has set me up to not only be financially secure when I retire, but it also gave me peace of mind when I started a family. The death and disability benefits that are built into the pension plan are incredible, and I'll go into more detail about those. Well, if something were to happen to, for instance, me, and my daughter is younger than 21, she would receive $500 per month until she reaches age 21. And then there's a post-high school educational benefit of up to $20,000 over 4 years. So $5,000 per year for up to 4 years for post-high school education if something were to happen to me prior to her being 21. That can make just the biggest difference when you're already dealing with tragedy and trauma and grief and all that comes along with that. So having those built-in death benefits makes a big difference. And then if you maintain those, maintain active status, meaning you are continuing to pay in pension plan dues over the life of your career, there is also a payout at the end of life to help cover funeral expenses and whatnot. I encourage all eligible students to enroll as soon as they are able so that they are better prepared for retirement and have access to tools which can help them be better stewards today. Like I said, I'm a big fan. Been a part of pension fund since 2006. So feeling pretty good about that, and I'm never leaving. Speaking of tools, your Money Line is a free financial professional service available to all members and their spouses. Online dashboards and resources can help you establish and maintain a budget, run retirement scenarios, and so much more. Guides can help answer your toughest money questions, and they are trained in empathy, so they help without judgment. I have used them. I've called them and emailed them about car payments and student loans and estate planning tools. they are so kind and so helpful. If they don't have an answer immediately, they will get back with you with resources. Ministers may not only experience financial anxiety, but mental health struggles as well. Learn to Live is a free and confidential mental wellness resource available to ministers and their families aged 13 and over. And for all things MRA related, Dee Long is your first contact. Please do not hesitate to reach out to her directly with any questions or if you would like to apply for assistance. Our aim is to help as many members as we can. All right, y'all. Lastly, oh yeah, sorry, question.
It looks like we have a raised hand.
Ooh, yay, I love a raised hand.
Jackie, I'm gonna allow you to talk here. And you can
Okay. So actually I have 2 or 3 questions, and I'm sorry we were late. Zoom wouldn't let us in. So
oh no.
Yeah, it was a mess. Anyhow, one question is on the portal, on the member portal, do we I have never accessed that. My husband has. We're co-pastors. So my question is, do I still need to like call the pension fund and get some kind of code? How do I access that?
Yes, you will have to call our main 866 number and speak with a member relations team member. Just tell them that you want access to the member portal. They will ask you a security question and send you a new link to your personal email that we have on file. And then you can get in, and you will always, whenever you log in, true for me, you will have to receive a code by text or email for our two-factor authentication, which is for security purposes.
Okay, thank you. Also, you said after we start the retirement process that you can only work half-time at your current job, right?
Correct.
That's what I'm doing anyway. So anyhow, but my question is, then you said that if you do an interim somewhere, you can contribute to a TDRA after retirement. So does that mean you can work full-time at the interim, or just you still need to work part-time?
You can work full-time at a different employer. So the interim ministry, yes, of course. And when I served a small rural church in Monterey, Kentucky, I was told that there's no part-time pastors, there's only part-time pay. So
well, that's the truth. Yes.
So yes, you can work as many hours as is called as an interim and contribute to the TDRA and continue to receive your pension.
All right. And could you bring back that Learn to Live screen? Because I was
of course,
write a couple things down, and
let's see, how can I do that?
If not, it's okay.
There we go. There
it is. Okay. So.
And as soon as I'm done with this, the information is online on our website with a direct link to Learn to Live. I'm sorry I didn't have that pulled up, but I will find that as soon as I stop sharing my screen.
Okay.
Or if you want to send me a note, I can reach out to you or Dee.
It's all good. I can reach out to Dee. I went to school with Sotelo, so
wonderful.
I've known them for a little while. It's all good.
Good.
All right. Okay. I just wanted to jot a little of that down for reference.
Oh,
so.
I'm so glad you did.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, it looks like do we have 2 other questions?
We have one more question. One was you just answered, actually.
Okay.
It is, can you set up automatic deposits into a BAA account?
You can. You would set up your BAA, and then there's you would receive information about how to set up those automatic deposits, which is a great way to get in the habit. So you don't even, so every time, pay period comes, or, you don't even see the funds, they just automatically go into the BAA. So yes, you can absolutely set up automatic deposits.
And then another one just came in. Already have an account, looks like portal only allows one-time deposit. Do I contact you for that?
So you will set up if you've already got an account, then a BAA account, then you can reach out to member relations, our member relations team, and they will walk you through the process of setting up those recurring contributions. And if you're just enrolling for the first time, set up the one time again, and then our member relations team will reach out to you to walk you through those next steps. Great questions. All right, well, I'll go back on to this slide and then be around for more questions after. In September, at the Gathering Retreat for Pastors, a retreat for pastors, which takes place in Washington, D.C., September 3rd through 5th this year, Pension Fund will launch a pilot program project called Cornerstones. Cornerstones is designed to encourage and support health and well-being for clergy and will encompass mental, physical, and financial aspects of well-being. Cornerstones will also incorporate the idea of holy friendships, true, authentic relationships that can support clergy on their journey. Participants in the gathering will have the opportunity to hear from keynoters Thad Austin and Victoria Atkinson White. Assess which aspect of well-being speaks to them at this time in their call in their lives, and discern whether or not a commitment to working on that area through Cornerstones programming is something they want to do. Examples of possible Cornerstones participation include a financial literacy cohort, a grant for a gym membership, referrals and support for counseling, and more. You'll want to stay tuned to social media between March and September to hear more about the partners we're working with and testimonials of Cornerstone's planning volunteers who plan to be at the gathering. And you can register for the gathering on our website, which may already be in the chat, which is amazing. And I purposely planned time for questions, so I will take any further questions now if you've got them. Oftentimes, this is a lot of information to take in all at once if you are unfamiliar, or maybe you've been a longtime member and are just needing a reminder of oh, I forgot that pension fund offered that, or I didn't know that. Or you're just a big time fan and you joined this morning to support the Christian Church in Kentucky and Pension Fund. And I'm so glad that you are here. Again, this is me. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. I am happy to answer email or take calls and or set up a video meeting, virtual meeting. And I love coming back to Kentucky. I live outside of Indianapolis and Fishers right now, but Kentucky as mentioned, is my home, and that's where my people live, my parents and my sister, and I'm always glad to get back there. So if you would like a visit directly to your church or employer, please let me know. Thank you so much for your time, attention, and the great questions today. I wish you all the blessings on your various vocations.